we still need to provide a Genesis file for version 9.1.0. We're tidying up the final details for that at the moment. So happy to answer any questions on that.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead. No, I was just thinking, when was the Conway file going to be released?
As soon as it's ready, Michelle.
Okay, sorry. I don't know, no estimation, 1 week, 2 week?
I would hope less than 1 week.
Okay.
So what we need to get the interim constitutional committee signatures together. We've got the guardrail script.
Yeah.
We need to check all the settings in the Genesis before we release it.
Of course.
Sam is in Longmont this week with the interim constitutional committee members.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that by the end of the week we will have everything together and we'll then be able to release it.
Okay, so that's also then when 9.1 is going to be released. Is it 9.1 or 9.01?
It's expected to be 9.1.
Okay.
We have some patches to make to the CLI commands for the Conway era. So we want to release a new patched version.
Okay, thank you very much.
Leonard, do you have anything you want to add to the update?
No, if you could just jump to slide 3 for a sec. So again, it's probably still in line with where we were. So we're just into July. I guess the big call out at the moment is we're starting a campaign, I guess you covered in a while, to encourage folks onto 9.0. So I think that's probably our biggest ask at the moment is to capture those metrics from Pool Tool, but also to do the outreach via Marcus. I'm not sure if Marcus is on the call or not, but Marcus will set up a separate call with him, and we'll also talk to Chris at IOG. Okay, back to you.
Thanks, Leonard. So let's move on to testing. So Sandeep, Martin, do you want to just give us an update on testing?
Maybe I can begin. Yeah, this week we did some testing on the mass delegate to abstain. I'd like to share.
Go for it, Sandeep.
Yeah, we did a scenario test with 1,000 staggered races with 990 delegating to abstain, 10 to delegating to some DREFs. This seems so far pretty well within our expectation. Now that goes to 10,000, and then we see if we can still have with the proper metrics. So that would be on the next line. Other than that, the guardrail scripts are being also tested. We'll have some results this week. And we are still in line to finish our testing by end of this month. We have found some issues, but yeah, that would be separately discussed.
So please pass those on to us, of course, Sandeep, and we'll triage them as appropriate.
Yeah.
And just for the benefit of the people on the call, we have run a series of performance tests on the node with varying numbers of DREPs, including 1 million delegations to 100,000 DREPs. So we're fairly comfortable that the system will stand up to a good. It's highly scalable. It'll stand up to a good number of DREPs.
Yeah, that's great.
Thanks, Sandeep. So let's move on to the Constitution update.
So maybe we could take a quick update. Martin, are anything you wanted to call out on the end-to-end testing?
Not really. We keep adding new automated tests. We keep testing the stuff we have at the moment. In 9.0 release, there were no major problems apart from that CLI one. So we keep adding tests. We keep testing the stuff, and there is nothing to raise at the moment.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thanks, Martin. I don't know whether Michael or Mark is on the call to give an update on the progress on the Constitution.
Are you looking for Constitution or the Constitutional Committee credentials?
Well, we can have both updates if there's some progress on both. That would be great.
Yeah, so the interim constitution, there has been a hash generated and provided to Sam already. We're doing a final review. There may be one small change coming from the civics committee. Equally, we may not make any changes. So in either case, we're coordinating with Sam and the hash will be changed in the Genesis file accordingly and shouldn't cause any delays. And on the constitutional committee credentials, I don't have any updates beyond what Kevin mentioned, and that we are in the office together. And so Sam, I'm sure, is working with anybody needed to still provide their credentials.
Thank you, Danielle. Thank you. Leonard, any other points that we need to cover before I go on to the readiness page?
No, I think we just got to keep a focus on the Constitution hash, Danielle. And we know obviously we'll be talking to Charles Morgan and to be ready to shift that upwards if we need any escalation to get the CA item closed out. Okay, so we'll link up with Sam and Kevin. I know you're looking at this. We just spoke about it shortly, so I think we're kind of okay.
Right. Let's move on to the readiness page, which will hopefully be posted tomorrow after this this meeting, and I'll make sure that everything is updated. But over the past, from last week, I've been speaking to all the key leads in the different areas, SPOs, exchanges, components, dApps, wallets, you name it. And I've basically put everything on one page. So if you want to find out the progress of what is going on in a relevant area, then this is the page that you need to come to and check the progress. Yes, I will definitely share the link, Leonard. As soon as it's posted and it goes live, I will definitely share the link. But what I wanted to do whilst everybody's actually here in the room, I just wanted to validate the information that I've got here and whether everything is correct. So I did speak to Marcus actually about SPOs earlier on today. So I know that this information is correct in terms of SPO readiness. Exchanges, obviously I've spoken to G-Day and Mikhail as well. And obviously they provided the key links if we want to find out about the exchanges and how they're doing in terms of liquidity. David, I know we've gone through some stuff in terms of the downstream components. Do I have any other updates? Do you have any other updates to give to me on this section, David?
Well, Ogmios is updated, so that was updated a few days ago by Mateus, so that is ready.
Ready, okay.
Updated version 6.5.0 updated 4 days ago, so that is ready.
Okay.
DB Sync, I'm aware there's a pre-release environment done, but there's not a mainnet version ready of it, so I'm not quite sure when that will be ready. But once there's a mainnet version, we look at updating Rosetta and GraphQL, so they're pending a mainnet version of that. Cardano wallet is in progress. We are targeting to have it out this Friday. The code has been merged, it's going through testing with no blockers, so the expectation is we'll have that on Friday. If anything changes, by the time we come in here next week, it should be done, all going well. Deadless obviously is waiting on us to have 9.0 ready, so I'd already spoken to the PO earlier on, Volvo, today, so he's aware we're targeting Friday.
Great, thanks, David.
The token registry and serialization library, I'm not up to date on. I presume that sits within IOG or IOHK, and likewise Block Frost. We have someone else on the call.
Yeah.
How is Explorer ready?
Don't think we need to do anything for it, Mikhail, do we?
I think it's using GraphQL, no?
Yeah.
Which Explorer is this? The old one, explorer.cardano.org, eh?
Yes.
Yeah, that's relying on GraphQL, and GraphQL is not ready.
Yes, but there won't be any updates done to Explorer. There's no changes required on Explorer.
The platform, the front end itself. No, front end itself, no, but yeah, you have to replace your GraphQL instance probably.
change it if you want. I mean, we're not making any amendments to Explorer, so we will update GraphQL.
But someone, I guess, IOG has to upgrade their GraphQL instance to the new node. Then it's going to be ready, no? That's my interpretation.
I don't know.
Okay, so why don't we take this one offline and we'll set up a small group on this one, Lewis.
Yeah, I've made a note on that.
Yeah, so GraphQL itself is being updated by the HAL team, right? Then the Explorer presumably is relying on some service that is being run on top of that. So block frost will need to be updated. But you already have that. You're already tracking that. I see.
So like end-to-end testing we need to do there. That's what you're probably calling out, guys. And then we see what's missing. Let's just take it away and we can work at it, Lewis. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Is it Marek? Is he on the call here? Is there any update on block frost at all?
As far as I know, block frost were ready on the call yesterday because he did a demo. So let's I'm sure he's ready. Just a matter of making sure that any kind of links are updated, etc. So let's call it out and see who needs to look at it.
All right, let me validate that with him first, and then then I'll add it to the page.
Cool.
Thanks, David, for the update anyway on components.
I'll jump in here for 1 second. Is there any other component that should be on here? I did hear mention via from Marcus Gottlieb there were 2 other kind of fringe components that needed. Does anybody else think this list is incomplete? It's a good question to ask, or just don't have the knowledge.
I suppose it depends on your definition of component. I mean, there is other repos that are there. I mean, we have Cardano CLI, but that's usually updated at the same time as the node, so we don't mark that as a separate one. I went and checked, that gets done more or less at the same time. We have Cardano addresses, which is used by some people, but that's a repo, so the HAL team updates some elements of that. That has been done from our side, but there's also a TypeScript element of that as well, which is not done by the CF. I'm not quite sure who updates that. I know there's been some conversation between Intersect and IOG, so I think in the end it was split. The TypeScript stuff was within IOG, so you could call out those repos separately if you want. I don't think they're all critical, but I'm not in a position to comment.
I would probably, sorry to interrupt you, David. I would start to enhance this, even if we have a component that's split. Let's split it, because there could be ownership, as you mentioned, there could be ownership in Lace, for example. There could equally be or XE. There could equally be, there is the ownership that David has from the HAL side. So let's split that one out. What is that formally called? That's just called a Cardano TypeScript library. Is that a good?
So, well, we've got Cardano addresses that sits there, so it's a repo that's used. And I said there's different functionality within it. One of them on the Haskell side, and one on the TypeScript side. So,
HAL is handling the Haskell side of it. Adam Dean is coordinating the TypeScript.
Okay, so coordinating, we need to convert that to doing. Christian, are you okay to have a chat with him?
Yeah, I can chat with him.
I mean, shout to me if you need help, but we want to. We kind of don't want to find ourselves with missing one leg on this in like 2 weeks' time. So
we've been pushing to make sure it's ready.
Gotcha. All right. Sorry, David. Back to you. You were helping out here.
Yeah, I'll check with the team. As far as I know, from the Haskell side, it's been updated to support it, but we don't do, as I said, a separate release. It's just a repo that people utilize.
So if there's somebody using it, then the question is, obviously, at some point they're going to need that. But if you're providing it, we probably need to do some kind of outreach to let people know. But equally, they should be paying attention. That's not always a good way to respond to people. Let's take that one away as well. Anything else out there beside the TypeScript, beside the Daedalus? Obviously, Cardano wallet you're taking care of. It's in here. Is there any other elements of the wallet we need to worry about as far as you're concerned, David?
From my side, no.
Okay, cool. Rosetta is taken care of. It's on there. That's probably all happening as we progress.
Well, So what will happen once DB Sync mainnet version is available? So then we have the TypeScript Rosetta to be done, and we have the GraphQL. So once that's available, we'll have someone looking at that. That is not mainnet ready at the moment, DB Sync, so we don't have someone looking at it at that point in time.
Okay, so we'll come back to you on DB Sync readiness over the next couple of hours. So so everybody else on the call, any other component here, for want of a better word, that you would expect to see listed here that could come back to haunt us? Now we can equally go back and look at Vassal, Lewis. I think the action for us is, you and I, is let's look at the Vassal checklist and make sure there's nothing in there that is going to shock us. What about things like Aura? Are they depending on DB Sync singularly? Does anybody know about that?
No, they're just connected to the node.
Connect to node. Okay, fine, no worries. All right, Michaela, anything else from your side you see on here that's that his absence is worrying you? We don't mind if you mention something, we can strike it off. So just have a look at the page. If you'll share the link to the page, please have a look at it, guys.
Yeah.
It's important. Yeah.
Cool, we'll do.
All right, thank you. Lewis, back to you.
Thanks, Dennis. So on SanchoNet, I'm speaking to Bosco to give me an update on the status for that. So he'll be sending that through to me by later on today. I've been speaking to Philip. Gave me a really good update. So again, this will be updated as of the end of play today. And we already verified this list as well. Ryan gave me a great table here with all the different wallets and the statuses of all the wallets. I thought it would be good just to show it as one table, so you can actually have a snapshot of the status of all the wallets. So that's there for you as well. So that will be updated as well on a weekly basis. I also added Michael's table in terms of the readiness for the Constitutional Committee, which is here as well. And I've also got a status update on DREP as well. So like I said, end of play today, this will all be updated. It will be posted. I will send you guys all the link. If you need any changes, please Slack me, message me, let me know, and I will update it as we progress. Any questions, guys?
So at the moment, you're saying we're 22% of SPOs around 9.0. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I checked Portal and I also checked with Marcus as well.
Okay, all right, that's good. And yeah, okay, fine. If you send out the link to that, I'd like us to make sure I'm silly things, but grammar typos, let's make sure we'll check it. So if you send that to me, I'll have a snippet as well. Okay, cool. Anything else you wanted to cover?
No, that was really it from me in terms of the agenda. Is there anything else that anybody needs to discuss or update us on in this meeting?
Can we go back to slide 3 for a second?
Yeah.
We got a few minutes. So realistically, David, I'm not putting you on the spot here, but you've been very helpful last time we spoke. So we're now into kind of almost heading to the middle of July, right? I think we are there. And we have, let's say we have plus 1 week. We have the implementation of the GraphQL, and again, shout to me if this is not achievable, Cardano wallet. Then we start to say to ourselves for SPOs and dApps exchanges, does that once we have the Genesis file ready, we are really in a mode of getting everybody to go on board, right? We really can shift out of the 9.0 window and go straight to 9.1. Did anybody disagree with that statement?
It depends on what you mean by ready to go out. I mean, I'll defer to Mikhail and Gita if they're on the call when it comes to exchanges. Like, we know exchanges need Cardano wallet, and Cardano wallet non-likely to be available this week or early next week, depending on whether we get out on Friday or Monday. We'll then need to bump it again to whenever 9.0.1 is available. I know in theory exchanges don't need to do that. They can swap out the Genesis files, but it depends on their operational procedures. So I don't think you're really in a position to target those exchanges until that's available. Likewise, GraphQL and Rosetta, which other exchanges will be using, I don't know when we'll have a mainnet version of DB Sync, but let's say at some stage this week, it's likely to be another week or so before we have Rosetta and GraphQL updated as well. So
that's
it's how you phrase that message. Certainly we can engage with exchanges, but there will be some exchanges that we will not be in a position to encourage them to upgrade because we don't have the downstream tooling that they currently use. So it's not that we can't start, it's just it's not a blanket statement of we can, you know, mobilize and actively engage all exchanges.
I don't even say we can start. I don't want them to like copy paste and hack solutions together. We have to give them the right components and tools to make it easy for them. And like,
I totally agree. I mean, so that's to us, Michael, is looking like the 20. If we said at the earliest, if we had a DB Sync cut for 9.0 tomorrow morning, David, you're pretty much telling us it's by the 24th.
I'm not committing to anything. I have one resource that needs to update both and test and everything as well. So until I speak to them and it's available and they assess it, I'm not committing to any date.
Okay, yeah, all right. So but the single blocker at the moment for you is the DB Sync release.
Yes.
Okay.
And arguably you could debate whether it's a blocker because it's a pre-release version there, and technically you could go in and start looking at it, but sometimes things changes as well. But at this point in time, until there's a mainnet version, I don't have anyone looking at TypeScript, Rosetta, or GraphQL. I don't believe the changes would be big. He's a very good developer. He's very quick at turning it around, but I don't look at the code. I don't look at it. So I don't want to be in a position of saying it takes a week and he looks at it and says, by the way, there's something funny going on. And likewise, it's not just a question of him making his changes. I know we have support from Mikhail's team as well in relation to testing it and going through it and making sure it's in a fit condition that we can offer it to exchanges. So there is an element of testing there that takes time, yeah.
Okay, fine. So we'll do our best to come back to you as soon as we can with the release. I think we just need to not put too much pressure on you guys, but we still need to be able to start. We don't want to communicate anything to somebody, as you said, about readiness. If we simply have something that's blocking you, and then maybe we actually out of sequence, David, we might need to pick up with you towards the end of the week just to have a smaller conversation on this, so we can see what needs to be done. Right? It's not necessarily going to speed it up, but it'll at least align us to, for example, the 26th. Where are we? And then if you need some help or you need us to speed something up, then we can go with it. Right. All right. Probably not much point in kicking this around anymore. Michiel, from your perspective, can we, Lewis, let's you and I and Michiel have a conversation around exchanges away from this group, simply because I think we need to line ourselves up. This is obviously the messaging needs to be quite careful on this one. We don't want to send out the wrong message, and we don't want to be broadcasting something that is not ready. Okay.
Yeah, I can stay on after this if needed.
Yes.
If you can.
Indeed, if I can. Let me see if I can. I'm just waiting for Costas to come back to me because he's just literally like, okay, he's working on that and he's okay from everyone. Okay, fine. So we're in the QA stage with the 13 with the pre-release 13.3. So that also means we're not ready. Okay, so we'll come back to you, David.
Yeah.
Michiel, I think I'll have to go, but we'll pick up a call with you tomorrow if that's okay. Yeah.
Yep. Sure. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Bye bye.
You too.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Everyone, bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.